whether you like it or not, whether you're fearful of it or not, AI is here, and AI is not going anywhere, and AI will save you so much time and money. It is crazy. And we're back
with another episode of He Said, She Said.
I'm back from running the mastermind.
So you have been gone for a week. You just got back yesterday morning. And you were doing your Elite Entrepreneurs Mastermind.
Literally one of my favorite things that we do. Everyone asks, like, after you sell your app, you still going to run that thing? I'm like, heck yeah. This will just be like way more extravagant.
Yeah, he loves it. I can absolutely attest to saying that it's something that fills your soul. You get so much energy around it. I know sometimes beforehand, because it takes so much planning. It is super in depth. They're constantly having meetings. There's always something falling through and having to go and make different plans, because that's just the run of the show of planning things like this. But I always know, you know, sometimes when you're going into it, you're like, okay, here we go. I want it to go right. There's always a lot of nerves around everything going perfect because you have these big plans. And I know every time before you go, I always say, I know tonight you're going to come home and you're going to be so energized and so fired up. It's like we always go to that moment so that you go into it super strong. And sure enough, you came home so energized, so excited, always filled up from these people. Them reaching their goals is always something that just like, I think that's what you live for.
I do. It's so fulfilling, number one. Two, it's exciting. It's like really exciting to watch people learn and collaborate and have breakthroughs and move the needle and all that stuff. No matter what your area of expertise is, if you can move the needle towards a better life for other humans in that area of expertise, that's kind of what we're all put here to do collectively, you know?
Yes. So I wanted to ask you, this is also super selfish for me because I haven't gotten the full download yet.
Yeah. So Lori doesn't attend typically other than like a dinner.
Right. I typically only go to one, maybe two dinners, but I would love to go to them all day. It's not a matter of can I do it? It's I'm also so busy building a company that unfortunately I can't make it to them anymore. But this is why I want to do this podcast right now, is because I want the Cliff Notes and I want everyone else to hear some of these major takeaways from the speakers. Because if you can't be in the room right now, we want to at least give you a couple of the breakthroughs from each speaker. So let's start out with day one. Who did you have and what was the takeaway?
All right. So the 4 speakers, and I actually want to explain why and how I curate speakers. Whenever we have a mastermind coming up, like the part where we all get together, I've always worked so closely with the 25 businesses that are in the room. I know exactly what they need. So I curate the speaker lineup so that it touches on what the room cumulatively needs in that moment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so it's always kind of a diverse group of speakers by design to make sure everyone's getting what they need. You know, so this time was everything from brand deals to dealing with adversity to what are all the future hacks in marketing? What are all the future hacks in AI? All this other stuff. Because I want everyone to be a step ahead of everything. So the 4 speakers were Billie Jean, who is one of the greatest marketers on the planet and is truly probably one of the leading people out there when it comes to how to implement AI in your business right now in like advanced ways, not generic like, oh, I use ChatGPT. Like the stuff I saw blew my freaking mind that we could be using right now today. And then Jeff Fenster, who is the founder of Everbowl, among a whole bunch of other different huge companies, but Everbowl has like 450 locations already. They're one of the fastest growing franchises out there. He's killing it. And then, of course, we had Daniela Monet, and she's the famous actress that everyone's seen on all the Nickelodeon shows and a bunch of other sitcoms and all that stuff. And then we also had Veena Jetty. You know, of course, she's the investor that has over $1 billion under management in rental properties. It's crazy. And each of them, you know, had a unique message. 3 of them I did Q&A with, and one of them just came in and like straight taught, right? And the unique message that, you know, each one had a lot of messages, but there's like a theme to each one. And you had said, you know, day one, who's the first person? I went, well, that was Daniela. We opened up with Daniela because she's accomplished so much.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, a famous actress plus a entrepreneur. And I mean, like a real entrepreneur. She's accomplished so much that's where we kind of kicked off the event with expanding what's possible to everybody. It's not every day you get to meet famous people on both sides of the coin. And her biggest message or her biggest story that she shared with them, most people don't know this about her, but it was down to her and one other person for the role of Miley Cyrus when she was young.
Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana. And it was Miley Cyrus that got it. And so she was talking about disappointment. And like, you think that there's these things in life where you're about to be made, right? Like life is made. I'm about to get this. This is going to change everything. And all of a sudden you don't get it. And what do you do in those moments? How does this apply to your business? How does this apply to your relationships? How does this apply to expectations? You might have counted all of your chickens before they hatch. Everything could be lined up perfectly. And all of a sudden something goes awry. How do you come back from that? Right. And obviously she came back to be in over 40 different TV shows, sitcoms, everything. So like, clearly you come back from it, but how? What do you do? What are the steps? And it really has a lot to do with who's around you in that moment. Who do you turn to in that moment? And how good are you at putting things into perspective instead of dwelling on thinking there's only one opportunity in life? There's thousands of opportunities in life for every person, but not if you're not looking for them.
I heard the coolest thing, actually, Lindsay Schwartz, I was talking about something that happened where I was kind of just like feeling disappointed. And she said, are you disappointed, or was that God's protection? Like, was that maybe protecting you from something that your life wasn't meant to go down? And that really helped me think about it that way.
That's awesome. So then second speaker was Jeff Fenster. He, like I said, is the creator of Everbowl, among a whole bunch of other companies. But this was really cool. When I went out to meet him before he came in to speak, I always go greet everybody. How you been? How you doing? All that stuff. He's like, oh, hold on a sec. I'm on the phone. And he showed me his phone. And he was on the phone with Drew Brees, the famous NFL quarterback. And that's because Drew Brees has bought like 150 franchise locations of his Everbowl franchises.
Oh my God, that is so cool.
Isn't that wild? And before that, he was on the phone with Shaq, like Shaquille O'Neal. So he is wildly connected and doing business with total celebrities. But he's just your total average dude. Like he is Family Guy first, super chill, doesn't want the spotlight.
Yeah, everyone said they were obsessed with him.
Obsessed.
Like, they were talking about him at the dinner.
He actually got a standing ovation.
Oh my gosh.
I hadn't seen that before at a mastermind, like Q&A with people. And, his biggest thing was that, and I teach this all the time, the power of relationship capital is more important than any other capital. And we've talked about that on here a lot, but specifically he was giving examples how, because he treated somebody well in his life, that person then wanted to go to bat for him and made a key introduction or became a business partner or invested in one of his ideas. And it's always just because he wakes up every day looking to see, how can I add value to somebody else's life?
It's
a simple thing that all of us can do. He just really drove home those points. He's like, the reason I know these people and the reason I'm in business with these people and I'm just a total regular dude that has no business being in business with any of these people is because I have spent my life waking up saying, how can I add value to other people and playing the long game?
Wow.
And that causes these introductions, that causes the reputation to precede you, that causes people to want to, lift you up and invest literally and metaphorically in your success. It's just such a good one. It made everyone in the room realize how big they could be playing by doing the small things every day of adding value to other people more consistently than they are. Then third speaker, Vina Jetty, you and I both had her at events. I mean, is there a better powerhouse than that woman?
No, and she's so just like down to earth and real. Like, she wants to be buds with everyone.
Yeah, she's like the real, right? She's awesome. And of course, she has over $1 billion worth of investment property under management. And she was just sharing with everyone. She's like, my first deal almost fell through. My first deal right at, up till closing, I didn't have the money for it. My first deal was a nightmare to put together. My first deal, I cried every day for 6 weeks straight. And here she is with over $1 billion under management. And her real message was, one, you got to start with that first deal where you cry for 6 weeks straight.
Yep.
Watch you do your version of that, right?
Oh my God, raising money and just wondering where it was going to come from and how I was going to do it. And yeah, you got to just do it. You got to get on those first phone calls, and they're horrible.
Well, and that was the other half of her message is everybody is just a few dollars of other people's money away from their dreams.
Oh,
there's
so good.
Like wake up call. Too many people are out there just scraping by, wishing that they could invest in more advertising, scraping by, wishing they could invest in more people, scraping by. And the likelihood, the truth, folks, is this. You're going to kind of always keep barely getting by, reinvesting what you make, barely getting by again, reinvesting what you make, unless you've got an idea that you can be passionate enough about where you can go out and use other people's money as like the steroids to get way ahead of that curve where you're always barely getting by and then reinvesting it all. And that's the key. This is what people don't realize. It's that jolt of resources that gets you so far ahead of that grinding it curve
Mm-hmm.
that now everything from that point out usually goes pretty dang well.
Mm.
But most people can't get over that hump. And then, of course, we capped it off with Billie Jean, who is just one of my favorite humans on the planet, marketing genius, and really has become an AI genius.
Hey y'all, if you didn't know, Earn Your Happy is now a part of the Growth Day Podcast Network. This is so exciting to me because I have been looking for a really good home for the show for, I can't even tell you, years, literally. And now I've finally been able to come together and collaborate with other people who have incredible shows, and I want to share them with you. One of the shows is Motivation with Brendon Burchard. And you guys, if you don't know about the beginning of my career, I literally started with Brendon Burchard's work. It's how I launched one of my very first online courses and membership sites, was because he gives so much advice that you can integrate and implement immediately. And that's what you're going to get on the show. Not just motivation, but you're going to learn exactly how to get your stuff out in the world. And not just that, but Brendon runs in the most incredible group of humans who are really doing the thing out in the world that you want to be doing. So go check it out. Go subscribe to Motivation with Brendon Burchard. I promise you, this is going to be one of those shows that no matter when you tune in, you're going to get value. Like, it's not one of those that you're like, God, I listened for 30 minutes and I didn't get what I wanted. Like, from the beginning, you're going to get something that changes your life or changes your business. So go check it out. Motivation with Brendon Burchard. I know you're going to love it. I'm obsessed.
And he just had the best messages. And it was very like right between the eyes. He said, whether you like it or not, whether you're fearful of it or not, AI is here, and AI is not going anywhere. And AI will save you so much time and money. It is crazy. And he was giving real life examples. He's like, yeah, everyone knows ChatGPT. Everyone's played with it. That's like the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
He showed the coolest thing. He showed an app where you can go on and you spend 60 seconds speaking into it. It's a video. It then takes your likeness and your voice and any single script you upload into it, it records it just like this podcast right here.
Wow.
So you could write a script of your podcast, just upload it to this app, and it'll record it like it's your voice, and it'll have the video as if you're reading it. And Lori, it was 100% real. It was nuts.
Wow.
Nuts. Then get this. He shared another piece of software that they use where all of their phone sales, where somebody sells somebody else when their customer's on a program.
Yep.
They're now AI phone sales. No joke. So he played some of the calls, and the AI negotiates like it's a person and sounds like a person with the people on the other line. And they have now been selling so many of their courses and products because you can't hire this many people to do phone sales.
No.
But the AI is perfect every single time. And get this, like it really sank in when he said this. He goes, if you have 5 people on your sales team, how many phone calls can they do at once? 5, right?
5.
They can only be talking to a person at a time. He said one AI being can have 2,000 conversations at one time. So they can have 2,000 people on the line that think they're talking to one person.
Oh my God.
And that just blew my mind. I was like, whoa. And he's playing the calls. It was nuts. It's just like a person talking, negotiating, having a conversation. I've never seen anything like it. And it's here. Everyone thinks this is a tomorrow thing. It's a yesterday thing.
Wow.
And just like Brendon said to us when we were with him at the retreat, he said, guys, this is the year we're going to look back and say, oh, that was the year everything changed, but we didn't see it. That is this year. 2023 is the year that AI hit. And everyone's going to look back and point to this year and say, that was the year.
Wow. Do you have the software for
Yeah,
that?
we got the list
thing?
of the software. We got the list of the software.
Great.
Anyhow, that's who we had. And they were absolutely epic. And I'm always so grateful to everyone who comes and teaches. And the group, well, this was amazing. I've never had this happen before. They got so much value. This is the end of the year, mastermind year. We only sign up once a year, right? And then everyone spends the whole year together. I've never had this happen before, but 75% of the room signed up for next year.
I literally can't believe it. But that is so we went and celebrated last night because there's a couple lessons from this that I want everyone to hear. They're probably like, well, when I hear this, when other people say it, I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, it's you guys or whatever that I say about those people that I put on a pedestal or whatnot. But it's taken years that you have gone so deep on your mastermind that it's taken years for it to almost fill and sell out from your current group.
Mm-hmm.
Like you typically get, I think in the beginning it was like 30%, then it was 50%, but you've never had this at 75% where you're like, whoa, I really don't have a lot of work to do filling it. Because it's so funny, at the dinner I just had that feeling because everybody was raving and talking about next year, and I was like, this is feeling like it's feeling so good for people. But I can also say that is also because of all of the work that you've put into your network and networking and bringing them into this network, like really having these incredible, epic people who want to come and serve because you've also served them. So that's pretty cool. Without
a doubt. I was really honored, to be honest. It's crazy, which also means there's only like 6 or 7 spots for next year instead of the typical spots that there are. So also, by the way, if you guys are going to make more than $500,000 this year and you want to be in this room with this group next year, go apply. Like, get your application in real quick, because now we're going to start doing those interviews. Go apply at chrisharder.me/mastermind. You have to be making more than $500,000 to apply. But if you are, go to chrisharder.me/mastermind. If your application qualifies, we'll jump on a Zoom, get to know each other, see if it's a good fit.
You should totally interview some of your testimonials from this year, because you had outrageous ones. You should get them on your podcast so people can hear what's possible.
That's a good idea. I definitely will. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. We always love and appreciate you.
And we will see you next week.
Adios.
Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. And I want to make sure that you have my phone number, and I'm not kidding. Did you know that I have a community text number? For real. My phone number is 310-496-8363. This goes directly to my phone. All you have to do is text the word daily to 310-496-8363. And I literally text you every single day, Monday through Friday. I actually just got done 30 seconds ago texting a bunch of people back, and I talk to you all of the time. You guys, people always ask me how I got my community text number and how it works. Well, all you have to do is you can just go to community.com and get your own. Community makes it easy to get a phone number that you can use to build your audience using text. People just text you at your number and they're added to your group. Then you can text them out audios, video links, anything you want. You guys, I text out happy birthday videos. I love to send podcast links, thoughts about life, book recommendations, different events that I'm doing in the local area. Texting gets me out of the noise of social media and directly into your hand. And now you can start texting your people too. Just go to community.com to get your phone number. They give you a 10-digit real phone number, not those weird short codes that look like spam, but it's more than a phone number. Your new number comes with an inbox for SMS and texting. This means you can actually manage your text list from your computer and an app on your phone. You can schedule text to send at certain times and to certain groups. You can even set up auto replies or let your assistant or customer service team answer your text messages via Community's awesome dashboard. Just go to community.com and ask for a free demo. They'll show you how it works and get you your number. It's time to start texting your audience versus just posting on social media. Everyone uses Community for that. So go check them out at community.com. I can tell you it's not just great for communicating with my audience, but Chris and I use Community and our texts to also sell out our launches. I'm telling you, you get such an incredible response because you really are creating a true deep sense of community, and it's so intimate. It's freaking amazing. Go check it out at community.com.
Hey, do you know what the big secret is this year? And it shouldn't be a secret because this should be your biggest focus. It is building your community. I am always working on building and nurturing my community, and everyone is talking about the power of community. Without an online community, you just cannot grow organically or create a real movement, which is what I know that we're all after. And you can build trust, or monetize your audience. When you get community right, not only does your audience grow faster, but so do your sales. But where's everybody going to be managing their communities these days? And a lot of online entrepreneurs and thought leaders are turning to Circle.so. Circle is an all-in-one community platform. It lets you host content and create discussions, live streams, group chats, and memberships all under your own brand. And what's so cool about Circle.so is that you don't even need a website or Facebook group. Instead, Circle lets you build your own community site where you can host content and manage your members. You can even create locked and unlocked content spaces, groups, and classes. How freaking cool is that? You can put your content behind a paywall too, and you can charge different amounts of money for different spaces on your community site. Circle.so is famously easy to use, and it has a free 14-day trial for you, so you can go check it out, see if you like it, see if you love all the options. Just go to Circle.so. Go check it out right now, you guys. Imagine being able to manage your community, start group chats and live classes, and accept payments all in one place. Kind of mind-blowing, since this is usually spread all over the place. You have to log into so many different things. If this is the year to capture, organize, and monetize your community, head over to Circle.so. You can get a free trial and start building your online community right now. Just go to Circle.so. You guys, you get the 14-day free trial. So just go and see if it's for you. It's going to streamline everything and make your life so much easier. It's so freaking cool.